What's up, guys? So we are here in Archeage, and we are getting ready for 3.0, and now we're going to talk about the best spots to land rush, because that's what everyone really wants to do, I guess, in 3.0, is land rush. So land rushing, if you don't know, is just doing the green quest, grabbing enough Gilded Stars to either get the 15 Gilded Star house or the 50 Gilded Star house, throwing down your design, your property in the housing zones, and claiming it for a later date. Land rush is very important because the land is limited. It's an open world PvP game, and once you own a spot, that is your spot until you relinquish it or until you forget to pay your taxes and it gets demoed by other players who eagerly want to take your spot. So the most important thing is that there's a lot of new housing zones in 3.0. The zone down here gets opened up. There's a zone over here that gets open up. In the western side, there's some zones over here that get opened up. There's a lot of zones that get opened up, and a lot of these have tons of housings. So housing won't be as bad as official launch. Official launch, we didn't have nearly as much housing zones as this. There's also Aurora housing as well. Golden Ruins was one of the last zones to get taken in Morpheus in 2.0's official fresh start launch. Tons and tons of housing. This housing up here will actually be locked because you have to have a castle in one of these regions, and you cannot create a castle until several weeks into the server's life. It's blocked behind some other mechanics. So, best spots to land rush. Generally, people want the temperate climate. That's what generally people want because pine trees were very in demand, and pine trees and almost all the crops are temperate. Other than that, it goes based on ocean views. So ocean views, coastal line, all the coastal line stuff is very, very important. Not only because it's got a great ocean view, but it has the direct routes to the other continent so you can trade runs. Trade runs are vital for getting charcoal stabilizers and also Gilded Stars. So on the coast, anywhere that you can get housing on the coast will be gobbled up within hours of the server going live. It takes around 90 minutes or so to get your 50 Gilded Stars. You can even get your 15 Gilded Stars a lot quicker than that. So 15 Gilded Stars you can probably get in about 30 minutes or so. The hard part is actually getting to the land that you want before someone else does. There's a lot of land though. Thousands of houses can be placed down. A 16 by 16 isn't that big of a spot, and you can probably find it anywhere. The biggest things that people will take after is the islands. You can see there's little dots in the world. These guys are going to be highly sought after, highly contested, especially the islands in the middle of the ocean here, because they allow for teleportation for the owner of that place. So if you own the island, you own a house there, you can actually teleport there and have a fast transportation to those islands. There's some islands here in the middle on the Arcadian Sea. So right here specifically, it's a great spot. It's got a spot for around 9 or 10 houses. That one gets gobbled up really quick. This island is a little bit bigger. It's referred to as Thunderstruck Island, and that island will probably have housing there for around 3 or 4 hours, depending on it, because it can hold about 50 or 60 houses if I remember correctly. There's also some more islands over here, but not as in demand because it's out of the way. It's more southern. You want it to be more in the northern area, so you're part of the Arcadian Sea. As you get up here, there's probably some housing areas over here, but I've never played on the west side, so I'm not too familiar. I believe you can plant a couple houses in that little island right there. So those little dots are very, very contested. If you want them, you have to make sure everything you do is go there first thing, run balls to the wall, take your glider, buy a glider, buy a mount off the cash shop, and go there. The other island they added was 2.8 or 2.7, was this massive island down here in the south. It's cool, but it really doesn't serve too much functionality. This definitely will be taken up because it's an island, but it's not that great of an island because you're down south, so there's nothing really over here. Again, the middle islands will be taken up really, really quick. This island, probably about 4 or 5 hours into it, and all the coastal land will be very valuable. Those are the main things. Everything else, even like the whole area of Villanella. Villanella is considered to be the best spot for the east. Everyone wanted Villanella. There's a lot of housing here near the coast. There's also some housing around here in the middle sections of the land, and the coastal line will be taken probably within the first 5 hours. That's going to be gone. Coastal land, gone, quick. But the middle stuff right here, if you want to just live in this area for whatever reason, you like the temperate climate, you like the zone, you like the aesthetics of the area, the mountains, whatever, these areas, these spots, the little inside ones, probably will be available for about a day. More or less in demand climates, like arid, will definitely be available for several days. So this is often considered the worst area for land. Windscour Savanna is kind of like the ghetto. No one wanted to live here. And in Morpheus's launch in 2.0, you could get land here about 3 or 4 weeks after the official launch of the server. So I had a lot of land here. I built all my houses together because I wanted to have land that was a joint together. So I built a lot of houses here in my accounts because that was something that you could just easily do. The ruins and such like this, same thing. You can get a lot of land here. Hassla actually gets taken up fairly quickly because it's a temperate climate. Maybe about a week or so into the server's life. Rockborn Basin also gets taken up fairly quickly, probably about a week. But you can see it's not going to be a day. It's not going to be 2 days. Krolin actually started 2.0 really, really late, about a week later. And by the time he got up to, level 50, he went up here to Golden Runes. And the entire Golden Runes housing area was still available. And he gobbled up like 20 or 30 spots with his friends and guildmates. It was an incredible feat because he started, again, about a week late in the server. And he was still able to get a lot of land. So spots like that, Diamond Shores doesn't fill up that much either. If you do want to do the Aurora trade packs, the mineral water for your Aurora trees, for your Archeage trees, this is going to be a decent spot. So you definitely want to get as coastal as you possibly can. And then you're going to be taking the mineral water from over here to feed your Archeage trees. Definitely the coastal spots get taken up. Coastal everywhere gets taken up fast. So if you want coastal, make sure that you go there and drop your scarecrow, your house, as soon as possible. But if you're not really worried about coastal land, you can probably get land anywhere on the first day. Don't fret too much about that. There's also the changes to the taxes and the taxing of the properties. So it costs more labor to actually create taxes. It costs 300 labor to make 5 tax certs now. You are also not going to have a bajillion credit people because you have to actually buy the credits from Try-and Rolls. No one starting the server has credits. You're starting off with absolutely nothing, and going in, you actually physically have to purchase credits. When official launch and Morpheus came out, people transferred over credits, and or they had credits from Founders Packs. So a lot of people just had credits to burn and such. Now at this point, it's actually going to hurt the real wallet. You're going to be like, damn, I have to pay $50 for tax certs? This sucks. And I don't think that many people are going to do it. 2 houses now also, same base tax rate. It's small. It's about 30 for 2 houses. But when you go up to your 3rd house, you're actually getting a 100% tax increase across the board. So it's going to be very, very expensive. Owning about 3 properties is going to cost you around 100 taxes a week. And when you drop down a building, you not only have to pay for the first week's deposit, you do have to pay for that week too. So you're dropping a lot of tax certs at first. It's very, very expensive. And I'll tell you from firsthand knowledge, I had 27 properties on Enla in one of the original launches way back when, 2 years ago. And the tax fee that I had to pay was several hundred tax certs, up into thousands for those 27 houses. And the reason I was able to do that was because I was able to have those founder credits and also transfer over money from other servers. On a new server, there's no freaking way that I would actually do that. That would be so much money to pay Try-and Rolls, and they don't deserve that much money. So if we had to pay 1,000 tax certs, that would be 13,000 credits, which would be, approximately $75 for just taxes. And that's just for 1 week of taxing. It's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So with all these changes, land is actually going to be a lot easier to get. Don't worry about it. You could still get land after day 1. So even if you're working for some odd reason on Saturday, you'll still be able to get land in your favorite zone, just maybe not coastal or islands. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you have other questions, post them down below. Try to answer all your questions as soon as possible. I will see you in Fresh Thoughts Servers, USA. Here I come. Reckoning. I'm going to be there. Are you?